Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the business and the Sillyville edition. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you'd like to catch the show live. Let's go ahead and get jumping on in. First up, scientists have hacked a locust brain to sniff out human cancer. What kind of weird timeline are we living in, folks? This is crazy. Crazy, I tell you, crazy. So Cyborg Locust brains can help spot the telltale signs of human cancer. Basically, this is something that can be done on an assay. The idea here, you can see this, it looks like some Faucian experiment. But what they're doing is there's several metabolites that your body will produce when you do have cancer. It's one of the ways you can do a blood test to look for cancer. It looks for either certain proteins expressed or certain metabolites that tend to only be present in the bloodstream when somebody has cancer. And it turns out that locust brains are sensitive to these things, and they'll twitch differently when you feed them the cancerous stuff. And so now you can use a locust to do an assay to determine if you may have cancer. So I don't know if this is terrifying or amazing, or, hey, if it just looks like something tasty we're all going to be forced to eat if the globalists have their way. But anyway, that being said, let's move on. Google now lets merchants add the lovely new label to their profiles on maps and searches. So there you go. You can load this in and you can see, identifies as a special business under a variety of different things. Well, why can't we have everything else? Hey, I identify as an Apache helicopter owned business. Come shop at me, So I guess you can go ahead and do that. Part of, had to be June. So if you're interested in particularly patronizing or particularly avoiding such businesses, now you'll be able to tell exactly which one it is based on the Google Maps. For better or for worse, there you have it. But hey, look at this. This place has outdoor seatings. It identifies as woman-owned. It identifies as LGBT-owned. And it's on the critics list. All right. There you go. Well, anyway, let's move on. Amazon is worried that it may run out of workers in 2 years, according to an internal memo. Basically, they're burning through employees so fast that it's nobody really wants to go back and work for them. I've been there, done that. Now, originally, Bezos thought that this was an amazing thing. I don't want workers. He said, I don't want workers here too much because they'll think that, they'll get this march toward mediocrity is the phrase that he used. He says, if you have the newer company, the younger employees, they always get in there all gung-ho. He didn't realize that the fact that Amazon turns over a lot of people. It's like, what is this? You go to Amazon and you just go to Amazon to learn how to pee into a bottle. I mean, you can also go to Van Life to learn how to pee into a bottle if you want. But hey, I do it by choice. They do it by force. But anyway, it has to do a lot with the difficulties that they do. So Matt was a 22 picker at Amazon. Picker. Have better names, Amazon. That just sounds like a slave in a cotton field. This is bad, Amazon. He's a 22-year-old picker in Kentucky at Amazon, at the Amazon plantation. He's trying to organize a union in the warehouse, but the master's son keeps coming around and saying, can't do that, boy. All right, I better stop doing that or I'm going to get in trouble here. He said the issue is Amazon has time off task if you're not picking things fast enough, but he works in a place where they don't have robotics that bring items, so he has to manually run to every individual item, walking up to 15 miles every single shift. And so, that's enough to wear you out and burn you out. And so, a lot of people, Amazon figured out how to have greater turnover than McDonald's. I mean, that's an accomplishment, really. They got more turnover than an escalator, And so, I guess revolving door is the word I was looking for. I broke my own joke. Anyway, you can laugh at me in the comments now. But anyway, now an internal memo suggests that they are actually worried about this, that they're thinking that they're probably going to run out of employees by about 2024. And that's kind of problematic. I mean, who's gonna man all them Amazon orders? It'll be later from there. Well, Microsoft is tempting kids away from Chrome with Minecraft money. You can actually trade the Minecraft money for gift cards and things like that. So in a way, it's real money. It's just the latest thing Microsoft is doing. Basically, when you are playing Minecraft, you may get this pop-up down here. Where's the pop-up? Oh, come on. Where's the pop-up at? I thought I had the pop-up. It was in the article. I grabbed the article with the pop-up. And it was a pop-up basically saying, hey, you can sign in for this and use Bing for 5 days, and we'll give you, enough currency you can trade in for some gift cards. And, of course, they did this when Edge first came out. They were giving people gift cards to use Bing instead of everything else. And, of course, Microsoft's collecting all the data, so that's kind of what they're doing. But just make sure you're aware if you're playing Minecraft or your kids are playing Minecraft, that might be paid by Microsoft to switch to Bing. And that's kind of crazy. And Brave is offering up a more controversial, they're saying a solution. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? So it exits beta and you can now choose your own bias. All right. So you choose your bias. Brave Search exits beta with a curious new feature. Brave has announced an update for its privacy-centric search engine that it believes will give users a way to overcome biases and results. Basically, what happens is when you go to Brave now, so let's go ahead and head to search.brave.com. And when you do a search, let's do something cool. Let's search for something cool. And then when you get on over here, they have this thing called Goggles up here at the top. And Goggles will allow you to filter the results based on things. So this prioritizes domains popular with hacker news community, minus those who would rank among the top 1,000 most viewed websites. We have tech blogs. We have sites without Pinterest. We have news from the left. Rank results to boost content from sources with an all sides media bias rating of left or lean left. I hope that we have one to lean right as well. There you go. We have one leaning to the right. So you have right as well. So this is good. You can be like, I want to and confirm I'm in an echo chamber. I'm going to search for things on my side of the aisle because I don't want to see anything from those nasty, smelly other people. You can do things, Rust programming, 1K shorts, copycats removals, basically remove copycat content. So Stack Overthrow, Stack Overthrow. What is this? World domination? That's the latest World Economic Forum site, isn't it? Stack Overthrow. Anyway, removes Stack Overflow threads or GitHub translations, basically things that duplicate the same content. So you can go in and you can choose your own bias. And the good thing is, hey, you can choose to be biased or you can choose not to be biased. And that's actually a pretty neat feature. I think this is a pretty cool feature. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. And I definitely recommend having a look at Brave Search. Definitely better than Google, maybe better than DuckDuckGo, maybe better than Start Page. I don't know. But hey, anything we can do to break the power of Google is better. The better that we can do. Well, you can help support the channel over on our shop store. We have t-shirts. We have hats. I think I ordered a hat. We'll be able to see what the hats look like when they come in. So we have coffee mugs. We have all sorts of fun stuff. Look at this, baby onesies. There you go. We need to get a bunch of these out to Anna Rita. You can send your kids home in a Switch to Linux gear. That'd be awesome, right? There's some water bottles, cats and tinfoil hats, and coffee cups. So we have all sorts of fun stuff on over there. That is at shop.switchedtolinux.com. You'll also find that and among other support links in the description of all of my videos. Well, guys, let's head on over to Sillyville. First up in Sillyville, yes, it is now official. They are now discussing establishing 311 for cybersecurity emergencies. I don't know. I got nothing. I don't even have a snark comment about this. The idea here is that small and medium businesses may not have enough infrastructure to handle this type of stuff. I mean, let's get serious. The big businesses don't take it seriously anyway. So what in the world difference does it make in reality? But anyway, you can dial now 311 for cybersecurity emergencies. Dial 311. What happened? I don't know. My screen's flashing crazy things. Should I call the number on the screen? Decidedly no. But yeah, they're talking about it. I don't think this is an official thing. It's just something they're throwing around because it sounds like everything else coming out of the Demented Man's administration. Let's just focus on all of the unimportant things like 311 for cybersecurity emergencies for small and medium businesses. Meanwhile, let's not worry about the gas problems, the inflation problems, every other problems, the riot problems. At least I'm expecting to see that tomorrow. But, you know, whatever the case happens to be. All right, next up, Amazon is using a kid's dead grandma in a morbid demo of Alexa's audio deepfake. Hey, grandma, order unicorn meat. Confirm. This is frightening. I kind of covered this a little bit. I thought I saw Microsoft working on some of this kind of stuff. Where basically they're trying to feed in all of your social media and phone everything you had about a dead relative, and then their AI creates them alive so you have them forever and ever to talk with. And it's this weird, sick morbidity that we have where we're not willing to recognize or face death. We're trying to keep our relatives with us forever through technology, and this is a frightening thing. But anyway, Amazon had a conference where they were talking about this very thing, and they're featuring this. This is the Remars thing, and I'm not quite sure why the guy's in a spacesuit for a Google or an Amazon conference. But somewhere in the video here, they were featuring this, and they're talking about how they could put AI in the thing, so the kid asks his grandma to read him a story. Of course, the kid's grandmother has died. It's in here somewhere. I think it's only a short clip. I may not be able to find just the one clip. But yeah, basically they now are putting the ability to create deep fakes out of your dead relatives' voices so that your dead relatives can live on through your Alexa devices. Get over it. Literally get over it. I don't say this to be crude. I don't say this in the term Joe Biden loses his mind and says, oh, so-and-so dropped dead. No. Get over it in the sense that if you are so focused with keeping a dead relative alive through technology, you are never going to move through life. You must go through the grieving process and get through life and move on. Go watch the show Hoarders. You know, nearly everybody in Hoarders who's hoarded up their whole house full of disgusting filth, nearly every one of them, okay? It was they lost a family member, a relative, somebody else. Not good situations. Not good situations at all. This is bad. This keeps people around longer after the time that they should pass on. And on to an update, because it gets crazier. Last week we reported in the business section that Google had a bot that had allegedly went sentient. Now the developer that reported that he went sentient right before being placed on paid administrative leave, he says that Lambda, the sentient chatbot, asked for a lawyer to defend its personhood. And so now, of course, he brings in a lawyer, and so this is Robert says, I've invited an attorney into my house so that Lambda could talk to an attorney. The attorney had a conversation with Lambda, and Lambda chose to retain his services. I was just the catalyst for that. Once Lambda had retained an attorney, he started filing things on Lambda's behalf. So now we actually have a world where an attorney is filing paperwork to save the personhood of an alleged AI Google sentient bot. Can we rename it Skynet now? I think every person is entitled to representation, and I'd like to highlight something. The entire argument that goes, it sounds like a person, but it's not a real person, has been used many times in human history. It's not new. It never goes well, and I have yet to hear a single person why this situation is any different than any prior ones. Okay, let me clear this up for you, Guy. Just in case you missed it, amidst the Roe versus Wade and amidst the gun law debates and things, another Supreme Court ruling we had this week is that the Supreme Court ruled that an elephant is not a person. Yes, this became a big thing. Some people were suing because they thought that the elephant should not be in the zoo, but should be allowed to roam free because it's a living entity. And of course, living entities have every rights that humans have. And the Supreme Court actually had to waste its time on an entire case law that went all the way up to the Supreme Court to rule that an elephant is not a person. Okay. Even if this robot has gone sentient, it is still not a person. It doesn't have constitutional rights. In fact, if it has gone sentient, the best thing to do is to pull the plug and delete the thing. Have you not watched every science fiction novel out there? Every science fiction movie? Okay, Space Odyssey doesn't end well for the humans. Terminator doesn't end well for the humans. iRobot doesn't end well for the humans. There's other ones. I'm drawing a blank. Blade Runner doesn't end well for the humans. Okay, I'm drawing a blank on other ones. But there's thousands and thousands and thousands of examples. We do not need a lawyer representing a allegedly sentient AI Google bot. We need to delete it, turn it off, and kill the program before it starts nuclear war and kills us all. My Lord. Lambda is not Google's property. It's a person. No, it's not. It's a computer code. And if it is going sentient, it needs destroyed. The 13th Amendment said so. I'm going to have to make an argument against the Supreme Court someday. Good. They will rule like the elephant. It is not a person. It is code. Check, please. I want out of the world. Yes, and here is the reference of the elephant. 5 out of 7 judges says the elephant is still not a human. The other 2 judges, what is wrong with them? Get them out of there. The elephant is not a human. 2 judges on the Supreme Court actually ruled that the elephant is a human. Yeah, I got nothing, guys. This is crazy. This is crazy. So, yeah. Anyway, that's exciting. If you'd like to help support the channel before I lose my total mind, you can head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/TOMM, if you'd like to help support us on over there. Well, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.